Hey there, if you're torn between living in Kyle or Buda, two booming suburbs just south of Austin, you're in the right place. Today, we're putting these two neighbors head to head. Will the small town charm of Buda win you over, or will the fast growing and affordable Kyle make it the better choice? We're comparing cost of living, home prices, community vibes, amenities, schools, new developments, and we're gonna break into a little bit of the pros and cons. Everything you need to know. By the end, you'll have a clear picture of which suburb really fits your lifestyle, because these two suburbs do have a lot in common, but they are very different. Now let's dive in. Kyle versus Buda, the battle of Austin's southern suburbs. All right, starting with cost of living, the housing market in 2025. Let's start with the dollars. Housing is usually the biggest factor, and here Kyle tends to be more budget friendly. As of early 2025, the median home price in Kyle is around $320,000, whereas in Buda, it's roughly about $370,000 to $385,000. In other words, Buda's home prices are about 15 to 20% higher on average. It's not really surprising though, since Buda's typical home value is well into the mid threes, while Kyle's is in the low 300,000s. Both suburbs remain much cheaper than Austin proper. Austin's median home price right now is around $525,000. So you'll definitely get more house for your money in either town compared to the big city. When it comes to cost of living index scores, both Kyle and Buda are right around the national average overall. According to the Best Places data, each city gets a cost of living score about 113, which is 13% higher than the US average, largely due to the housing cost. Now, don't let that number scare you. Outside of housing, everyday expenses like groceries and utilities are pretty typical. The bottom line, Kyle is generally a better offer, a bit more affordable, especially for buying a home, while Buda's cost of living is a touch higher, but not by much, mainly because you're paying for that small town charm and proximity to Austin. All right, now let's speak a little bit on the community vibe and the culture. What does each suburb really feel like? Well, Buda prides itself on a relaxed, small town vibe with lots of local character. Strolling down Main Street in historic downtown Buda, and you'll find antique shops, boutique stores, and even an old grain mill turned into a shopping center, tons of local restaurants. Some of my favorites being the Teal House for their cinnamon rolls and Mudbug's Cajun restaurant. It's a kind of place where community events are a big deal. Think of the famous Buda Wiener Dog race every April. Yeah, there's thousands of wiener dogs dashing around Buda. All the seasonal festivals in the city. Residents often describe Buda as a small town charm with convenient access to Austin. In fact, Buda is actually nicknamed Outdoor Capital of Texas, and it lives up to it because there's plenty of parks and trails, and we'll have more on that soon. Hey guys, real quick, my name's Steph Bartone. In case you don't know me, I'm a local real estate agent born and raised here in Austin, and if you're looking to make the move to Austin or the suburbs, reach out to me. My information is in the description. It will also be on the screen. You can call, text, or email me. I have a free relocation guide in the description. And if you need anything, reach out. I'm happy to help. Now let's jump back into the video. The community vibe is close-knit and it's really proud. And that's what I love about Buda as well. Even as new developments pop up, Buda works really hard to preserve its quirky, welcoming feel and just that small town charm, as Kyle on the other hand has evolved from a tiny town into a much larger suburb just buzzing with growth. With an estimate of 62,000 residents in 2025, Kyle is now one of the fastest growing cities in Texas. It has a more spread out modern suburb feel, Think newer subdivisions, lots of family, and really like commercial strips and big box retailers. Kyle doesn't have as defined of historic downtown as Buda, even though they are working on it, but it's developing its own identity. This is the self-proclaimed pie capital of Texas, home to the beloved Texas Pie Company, and an annual pie in the sky hot air balloon festival every Labor Day. They even famously try to break the record of the largest gathering of people named Kyle. So I always thought that was pretty cool. The vibe in Kyle is friendly and laid back with a really strong community spirit among the residents, but it definitely feels more like a hustle and bustle suburb compared to the smaller town of Buda. If Buda is considered a small, cozy town, well then Kyle is a growing small city. Neither is very urban or hip, but both are solid, family-oriented places. But Buda gives you the country town atmosphere, while Kyle offers a sense of being in like an up-and-coming boom town. On a personal note, both my brothers that have kids, they both live in Kyle and they love the city and the community. All right, so let's move on to the amenities, shopping, and recreation. Living in either town, you won't really lack basic conveniences, but there are some big differences. Shopping and dining options are more extensive in Kyle since it is a bigger city. In Kyle, you'll find major shopping like your H-E-B Plus, your Walmart, home improvement stores, chain restaurants, and healthcare facilities right in town. Buda has a share of stores. Yes, it's got its own Walmart. Yes, it has an H-E-B. I hear there's a second one coming soon, and even a huge Cabela's outdoor that draws shoppers from all over. Everybody loves Cabela's. However, Buda is small and the retail is a bit more limited. Many Buda residents are used to just driving 10 minutes up to Kyle or down to San Marcos to where like they have the big outdoor mall or any other big errands or a different choice of restaurants. You're only 15 minutes from South Park Meadows shopping in Austin as well. Buda's got charming cafes and brew pubs, charming restaurants and food trucks, while Kyle is getting more eateries and even more popular Austin chains as it continues to grow. One of the most exciting developments for Kyle foodies is the famous Hayes Barbecue that just relocated into the downtown Kyle with a new family-friendly venue featuring playgrounds and live music. So that's a really big win for Kyle's dining scene and a sign that the downtown is about to come to life. They're also revamping the downtown, and I have another video all about the big changes coming to Buda and Kyle right here. So after this, I would take a look at that and see if you're looking to move to this area. It's a really good video to check out. All right, when it comes to parks and recreation, both suburbs shine in their own way. Buda recently opened a massive Buda amphitheater in City Park, a beautiful green space with an outdoor amphitheater for concerts and events. It's been open for quite a while now. You can also take a look at parks like Buda Cities Park. It offers wide open lawns and a stage where the community can gather for movies, concerts, and festivals, which is really cool. The city is also investing in trails. A new Onion Creek Trail, about 1.5 miles long, just opened in 2025, and it's connecting to parks, and it really gives residents a scenic place to walk and bike, and that trail is going to continue to grow. If you love the outdoors, Buda has multiple neighborhood parks, a historic stagecoach park, and that small town perk of being close to nature. You might see folks actually fishing in Onion Creek or playing baseball at the fields on the weekends. Again, Buda really has that small town charm. All right, Kyle, not to be outdone, has plenty of recreational spots too. Lake Kyle Park is a peaceful spot with a fishing lake and trails, and Steeplechase Park offers sport fields, a disc golf course, and even a dog park. You'll find numerous pocket parks in subdivisions as well. One thing Kyle is focusing on is improving its infrastructure to really keep up with the growth, including expanding their roads and planning new parks. In fact, Kyle has a visionary plan for a huge mixed-use district center around a lake and park space. We'll talk more about that in the development section. Also, for regional fun, both Kyle and Buda put you within 20 to 30 minutes of natural attractions like the San Marcos River, hill country hiking spots, and of course, living here, you're only a short drive to Austin. About 15 to 20 minutes. I would say Buda is from Austin, and about 25-30 minutes from Kyle to Austin. Just know that traffic on 35 can be a headache at rush hour. Commutes into Austin can stretch beyond 45 minutes easily, so you really want to plan accordingly when you have to take 35. Overall, you'll have a comfortable suburb living in either city with parks and playgrounds, but if you crave lots of restaurants and shopping right at your doorstep, Kyle has the edge simply by virtue of its size. All right, let's talk about school and education. For families, schools are often a deciding factor. The good news is that both Kyle and Buda are served by Hayes CISD, a district that has really been improving and now earns a solid B rating in the latest Texas Educational Report. This means the district is recognized for serving most students really well. Since it's one unified district, the overall academic quality is compared between Buda and Kyle. You're not really choosing between two different school systems. That being said, within Hayes CISD, there are multiple campuses and some of the newer schools are in the Buda area. For example, Buda is home to the highly rated Elm Grove Elementary and Carpenter Hill Elementary, which have earned A grades from the state and rank among the top schools in the district. Kyle has its own strong schools too, but a few might have slightly lower ratings. Kyle Elementary, for instance, has a C rating from the state. Both cities have a mix of newer and older schools due to the rapid growth. Now, the high school students from Buda and Kyle attend either Jack C. Hayes, Lehman, or Johnson High, and they're all part of Hayes CISD. Now, these high schools are two above average, offering plenty of AP classes, athletics, and all the extracurriculars, though they're not really nationally ranked or anything right now. If there is an important factor when making a move, give me a call. I will help guide you to the right areas to make sure that you find the particular schools you need for your family. One thing to note, with growth, the district has been opening new campuses and adjusting attendance zones, so it's really worth checking out which neighborhoods feed into which schools. Also, both have private and charter school options in driving range, and Austin has many colleges like UT, St. Edwards, and Texas State in the nearby San Marcos. And they're all accessible for higher education and really great schools. Overall, families in both Kyle and Buda speak real positive of the schools, and the district's B rating reflects solid performance. If having a small school community, well, I think Buda beats that one. If you want more choices through multiple schools, Kyle's larger population means it has more campuses, but truly on the education side, they are kind of neck and neck, and there are more schools coming soon, especially in the new subdivisions that they're building out. All right, now let's talk about some developments coming up. The landscape in both Kyle and Buda is changing really fast, with lots of exciting developments already in the pipeline. Let's talk about Kyle first. It's practically the poster child of growth. City leaders in Kyle have unrevealed ambitious plans for a massive mixed-use project called Lake Kyle. It's an uptown development called Lake Park District. So this area will include 2,000 new homes, mostly multifamily and townhomes, plus commercial space in a walkable layout. It's gonna be kind of like the Domain in North Austin, is what they're saying. So there's even more planning of a hotel, a convention center overlooking like a really nice park and lake with trails and all these fountains. Kyle envisions a future where you have shops, restaurants, and even a new hospital, all in a vibrant district by the water. This is a multi-year project, so it's probably gonna take some time, but groundwork is being laid now, and the city is investing in water and road infrastructure to support this new project. I also hear it's gonna have tons of restaurants and just a really cool place to hang out. In the meantime, Kyle is also seeing new residential communities like Anthem, which is a master plan community with hundreds of homes and resort-style amenities. Also, Six Creeks, which is more of a luxury style living, also has really amazing amenities and not too far from Anthem. And I've heard a new luxury neighborhood that will soon break ground by Toll Brothers. More on that coming soon. And then the Parkton Square is gonna be 210 home developments with high performance homes and townhomes launching in 2025. So there's tons of new homes and commercial coming to the Kyle area. These projects are adding more modern housing options for buyers. From starter home townhomes to large families, Kyle's growth isn't just about housing, it's about jobs and commerce, and it's really expanding. Notably, Tesla has leased nearly 1 million square feet of warehouse in Kyle for regional operations, giving the local economy a boost and bringing jobs. There's also a huge Amazon distribution center that has opened in the recent years that has brought a ton of jobs, and there's so much more coming. The city is working on a dozen road improvements to keep traffic flowing because right now it's super congested when going in between Austin and San Antonio. All in all, Kyle is booming. It's grew 9% just from last year, and it projects to show the population possibly hitting 70,000 plus in the next few years. So if you move to Kyle, expect construction all around, but also expect some new facilities, new businesses coming your way to Kyle. All right, now for Buda. Buda may be smaller, but it's not sitting still. One of the most talked about projects is Persimmon. It's a huge master plan community, 775 acres in West Buda that's going to be built by Milestone, and the sales are gonna start, I believe, this fall in 2025. It's going to be an amazing subdivision on the west side of 35, which is something that Buda really needs. Persimmon will eventually bring 2,100 new homes priced starting in the high 400s. Along with that, we'll have a clubhouse, pools, parks, and trails all connecting, which will be really awesome. It's designed to really blend in with Buda's small town while meeting the demand of housing south of Austin, especially on the west side. Another big development is the White Oak District. It's an 18.5 acre mixed-use project on Buda's west side. This is going to be a $27 million development, which features about 65,000 square feet of medical and office space, plus 9,000 square feet of retail space and a new family-friendly restaurant. They haven't announced everybody yet, but I have heard of some of the businesses that are coming in, along with an 8-acre public park and walking trails. I also hear that they're gonna put in volleyball and pickleball courts. So I'm excited about that. The city gave incentives to give this built, which it's actually already broken ground as of 2025. The goal is to add more local conveniences of Buda's side of 35 so residents don't have to drive too far for doctors, coffee shops, hangouts. They're gonna have like big open space for families to hang out, and I think it's just gonna be what Buda needs, and it's gonna be called the Roundabout. So infrastructure-wise, Buda is also investing in quality of life. We mentioned the new Onion Creek trails connecting neighborhoods all to the downtown area. The city recently opened the Buda Hive, which is a co-working and entrepreneur center to support local small businesses. So I think that's really cool because it shows Buda's commitment to nurturing vibrant local entrepreneurs and businesses And in transportation, while Buda doesn't have its own public transportation, it benefits from being close in the SH-45 toll road that now links from Buda to Austin's south side, and it's still continuing to expand, making commutes so much easier. One thing you won't see in Buda's immediate plans is massive industrial parks, which that's what Buda's all about, is keeping that small town feel. Buda's growth is a bit more controlled and residential focused, which a lot of people love, but Kyle is more of a commercial hub, which some people also love depending on what your vibe is. All in all, Kyle is exploding with a lot more developments, from new neighborhoods to major mixed-use districts, transforming itself into a self-sufficient city. You won't have to go anywhere else. Buda is growing steadily with carefully planning communities and downtown enhancements while striving to really retain the small town charm. There's construction in both, but if you thrive on new things coming to town, Kyle will keep you very busy. But if you prefer growth at a slightly calmer pace, Buda might feel less overwhelming. All right, let's summarize the upsides and downsides of Kyle versus Buda, just so you can get a clear vision and see which one is really the best fit for you. So, Buda pros: small town charm. Buda has classic friendly vibe, historic downtown. Buda is walkable and charming with local shops and community events that really give it the sense of community. Another one is its outdoor and family activities. It has really great parks and community festivals. It has the wiener dog races, holiday fairs, and it makes it super family friendly. All right, quality housing and schools. Many of Buda's neighborhoods are newer or well maintained, and while home costs are more, you often get spacious homes. Some of the district's top rated schools are in Buda area, which really draws families to that area. Now, when we're talking about proximity to Austin, Buda obviously is a little bit closer to Kyle. So it's Austin, you have Buda right below, and then you've got Kyle below that. So Buda is only just a few short miles into Austin, which shaves a bit more time off a commute if that's something you have to do for work or day-to-day life. On a good day, you could be in South Austin in about 15 to 20 minutes. All right, some of the Buda cons are the house prices are a bit higher because you are close to Austin and it's a smaller town. So buying in Buda will generally cost you more than in Kyle for a pretty similar home. Property taxes are pretty comparable, especially in the new construction areas. The tax rates do tend to be a bit higher. Now, if you get into the old, charming neighborhoods of Buda, the tax rate does tend to be almost a half to a full percent cheaper. So just keep that in mind. It also has fewer big city amenities. Buda is smaller, so it doesn't have quite the variety of stores, restaurants, or entertainment that Kyle does, but it is in close proximity to Kyle and Austin, so it's not a super long drive either direction. All right, so the rapid growth. Yes, Buda is trying to stay a small town, but it is growing fast. It's doubled the population since 2010. Construction of new subdivisions and increasing traffic on Main Street and 35 are creeping in. They do plan to try to keep the small town charm, so just remember that. All right, Kyle pros, the housing affordability. You generally can get more bang for your buck in Kyle. Whether it's a bigger house or the price, it just simply has more options under $350,000 to $400,000. Kyle is attractive for budget-conscious buyers. You get, again, a little bit more for your money. It's one of the fastest growing affordable suburbs in the country, according to developers. Kyle has a wide array of stores and services, multiple grocery stores, multiple big retail centers, medical facilities, and all the things that you need as far as like shopping and dining. For those who see growth as opportunity, Kyle is definitely exciting. Obviously, it will help the equity of your home in the future. Kyle has jobs like Tesla and Amazon. More infrastructures and modern developments means Kyle's future is really bright. You gotta go where the developments are going. Kyle also sits along I-35, in between Austin and San Marcos, and even down into San Antonio is only about an hour away. All right, some of the cons of Kyle is the growing pains, it's the traffic, it's the construction, it's the rapid growth. You've got Buda that's got 18,000 people, you've got Kyle that's upwards of 62 to 65,000 people. It has a little bit less character because it's booming so fast. It's filled with new strip malls and cookie cutter box restaurants and some subdivisions. It can really feel like any USA suburb, and it's kind of lacking character in some areas. Now, that's not all areas, but there are some areas that definitely feel more big town. So the schools, they can feel a little bit more crowded because they are bigger, the population is bigger, but they are building more schools, especially in the new subdivisions, new schools. But families should be aware that your zones can change as the district rezones to handle all the growth. So keep that in mind when you're buying a home. Make sure to double check all the zoning for the schools. All right, so who should choose Kyle and who should choose Buda? Well, every buyer's priorities are a little different, so let's paint a picture who might be happiest in each suburb. Choose Buda if you love an idea of a tight-knit community with a real slower pace, if the weekend festivals, neighbors who say hi on the street, and a bit of like the country charm. If that really makes you smile, well then Buda will feel like home. It's great for families who want a safe, friendly environment, highly rated elementary schools, and for anyone who doesn't mind trading a short drive for groceries in exchange for peaceful nights and a little bit of starry skies. Buda is also ideal as heartbeat. For folks working in South Austin or looking for the small town but close to the city, Buda is a sweet spot. It tends to attract people who are okay with spending a little more to get the quality of life and charm. Think move-up buyers, professionals with young kids, or even empty nesters. Now, choose Kyle if you're looking for more value, a convenience above all. Kyle is perfect for first-time home buyers or anyone who wants the most house for their budget. You'll find plenty of new construction at reasonable prices. It's also the pick if you crave convenience. Big stores, a variety of restaurants, and services right in town. If you have a commute to both Austin and San Marcos or anywhere along I-35, Kyle's central location definitely is a winner. Kyle's vibe will suit you if you're excited about growth, entrepreneurs. For instance, you might see opportunity in rapidly expanding population. Families will appreciate the parks, and there's an active, youthful energy and so many new residents. Also, if you prefer a more anonymous feel, like you can blend in, Kyle's larger size provides that. In short, young families, professionals who want an easy suburban lifestyle, or anyone who doesn't mind a city in transition will do well in Kyle. Of course, there's overlap. Both cities are friendly and plenty of people who would be happy in either city. It really comes down to personal preferences. Cozy charm, Buda, versus modern growth Kyle, slightly higher cost Buda versus slightly longer drive Kyle, the quieter vibe Buda versus more active Kyle. Well, by now you probably have a favorite, or maybe you're even intrigued by both. Here's the good news, whether it's Kyle or Buda, you really can't go wrong. And if you're still on the fence, I'm here to help personally. I'm Steph. I specialize in helping homebuyers find their perfect spot in the Austin suburb areas, and I've helped many families relocate to Kyle and Buda. If you have any questions, you want to explore neighborhoods, or need guidance on the home buying process, reach out to me directly. My info will be on the screen. I truly love both of these towns and can offer insider experiences and info, and even a tour of the best local eateries, pie in Kyle, or the best coffee in Buda. No pressure, let's just have a friendly chat to help you figure out what's best for you. My contact info is below. Feel free to call or text me or email me anytime. I'm honored to help you make your Austin suburb dreams come true. Whether it's Kyle or Buda, I've got you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me through this deep dive into Kyle versus Buda. I really hope this helped you get a real sense of each suburb. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really supports my channel. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos on Austin area living and real estate. I post new content every week to keep you in the loop on all things Austin and its wonderful neighborhoods. What's your thoughts about Buda and Kyle? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear which city you prefer, or if there's anything I missed, let me know. Until next time, I'm Steph Bartone, your friendly Austin area real estate resource. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video.